Okay, I think we're up and running. Can everybody see me and hear me okay? Sorry about that. I've had to... Where's the mouse? There it is. Bear me 1 second. Bear with me 1 sec. Bear with me just a sec. Okay, sorted. Right, I just wanted a bigger mouse pointer. Can everybody hear me okay? I need someone to just to let me know, because these are all new settings. I've had to reinstall Windows and everything. Yes, okay. So you can hear me, you can see me. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, what a palaver. I had to reset everything. Let me just see if there's something. I literally had to reset everything. I had to delete Windows and reinstall it and all that. I could not get NinjaTrader to work. I was due to have a call from them tomorrow, but I couldn't wait for 2 days. So let me just make this pointer slightly smaller. It's a bit too big now, isn't it? Accessibility, mouse pointer, just a touch smaller. That's better. Perfect. Okay, what a pain in the arse. Okay, Karina, good morning to you. Straight Lines, how you doing? George, how you doing? Good morning from Greece. Fantastic. ISOCAN, how you doing? Okay. So, it's all right. Let me just... We've got no news I'm aware of. I literally had to install everything, which was an absolute ball ache. The only thing I haven't got at the moment is the thing on the edge of the indicator on the edge of the bar line, but I can get that later. That's not so much of a problem. So what are we doing here? So are we doing something like that? I think we certainly could be. We've had a bit of a break, a couple of lines down to a new low. So I ummed and ahed about a setup here. That actually would have worked, but it went a bit sideways. So I just wasn't too sure. I've had a tendency in the past, if I'm not paying attention, I tend to just jump in. But if I'm not sure now, I just tend to leave it and wait. You know what? I think there's the break. I'm not sure if that's a break. We go from the top to there, and it fits along there and there, actually. So anyway, it's irrelevant. We've had a break and a new low, so... let me just reload my data. So I've literally, in the last hour and a half, I've had to reinstall Windows, download and install NinjaTrader. Same with Rhythmic. I've had to get on the email with the guy from Replicanto and get that sorted out. I've had to download and set up my OBS and put all the settings in and do this. That's why you can see a couple of these things aren't perfect. I think they're there. These. So I've been kind of doing it on the fly, so which is why I had a nice ring around that yesterday, but I forgot I haven't got it today. So, oh, come off So I'll finish it all later. I just wanted to get trading, to be honest with you. Sorted. I think I'm okay just for now. I'll get me by anyway, but everything's working. Let me just double check.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Everything's working.
Order cancelled.
Why did that not show?
Order submitted.
Oh, it's there. It's there. Okay. Let me just.
Order cancelled.
Bigger. 50, I think I like.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Okay, so that's one more thing I need to do. Sort that line out, Dan. I tell you what, we've had once. Surely this is not. Oh no, okay. I'm going to say. So very bearish. Let me just. Dan mentioned something to me yesterday. Well, to be honest with you, I've had no issues with it. It's been really good. It seems to be, for some reason, something to do with OneDrive, the way it saves it to OneDrive, and that seems to be the problem. Now, I spoke to the guy from Guardian Angel Trader, and he's because I was trying to figure, I couldn't figure out how to get Guardian Angel Trader back on. And he said, if you want, I'll hook up you remotely and have a look. And he hooked up remotely and he couldn't figure out what's gone on with Ninja Trader. So in the end, I just thought, I'm going to wait until 3 o'clock tomorrow. I could be on call with them for an hour. So I thought I might as well just delete everything and start again. Because I recently, I did it 4 or 5 days ago. It's all fresh in my head. So I just saved my mic settings and all this sort of stuff. So it was a bit quicker. And to be fair, I did it in maybe an hour and a quarter, hour and a half. So we're up and running with a nice fresh copy. So hopefully everything should be okay. All I got to do is make that line a bit bigger. I can't remember. I did a bit, more pronounced. Dan told me yesterday how to do it, but I can't remember. If anybody knows, let me know. I'm just scrolling through the comments. Let's just ask him again. Wow, this thing doesn't want to give up, does it? No, I'm not sure. Bear me a second. Hold on a second. I think I remember what it is. It's down here, isn't it? Trading day break line. That's it. I got it. Perfect. Okay, it's hard to see where the day starts. So this thing is proper bearish at the moment. It just doesn't want to stop, does it? So we got that. 2 legs down, a little bit of sideways. I can't see another channel there, in all fairness. Let's have a look at Mr. Wade. See, where is he? Oh, here he is. He is here. Is this a normal? Hold on a second. That's it. That's it. I got it. Okay, so Thomas Way's got that. Yeah, it's pretty much what I've got, actually. There's something else going on. I did look at that. I'm not too sure at the moment. So that does seem to be... he does post his charts a lot, does Thomas, which is useful. So I'm not sure whether there is anything like that. It's possible. It just doesn't feel right. Normally, if we're going to go from there, you'll go to that next swing. Well, we're missing the next swing. So that would mean the channel would be there. And that just isn't right. So there's always a possibility that it could be here. But that doesn't look right either. So I just think we've had a break and we've had more or less 2 legs. It looks like a leg or a channel. And then another looks like 2 legs, and then we're going a bit sideways. So this is kind of an area we just got to wait until it figures out whether it wants to continue down or push up. But I'm putting shorts on hold just at the moment to figure out, is this starting to reverse? Because there's always that possibility. We've had a channel down there, we've had a break, 2 pushes to a new low, a little bit of sideways, a little bit of we're unsure. We'll soon find out now. Do you know why I'm unable to for your stream? Hold on, mate, I'll tell you. Let me have a look. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. I'll tell you what I haven't done. Bear me. I think it's something to do with the settings. Bear me, see if I can pick this up a bit. So stream. Output. I haven't gone through all these settings, that's why. Let's just up the bit rate, see if it makes a bit of a difference. It's the one thing I haven't done, bud. I can't remember half these settings without going into them. So that's the output. There's the stream. I can't change these while I'm already on the stream. That's why. So you might just have to put up with it today. So, okay. Right. Yeah. There's nothing I could do while I'm on the stream. I haven't done the settings for, I just completely forgot to be fair. I've literally just got it up and running. So I'll have to pick up those. Why do you want to see me in HD anyway? Yeah, I'll sort it out for tomorrow for sure. I know what it is. It's the settings, but I can't change the settings. It's the output settings that go into the stream. I mean, I literally finished doing it as I was connecting. It didn't even connect straight away. I had to go through some settings again. So yeah, I'll sort it out for you for tomorrow. Do not worry. You'll get me in HD. Now, don't complain, will you? If I don't look that nice in HD. So, channel break, new high. Now, I'm not sure here whether this thing's reversing or whether it's coming down. It does look like two legs, a lower high below the ear main. Might not be a terrible option, but in all honesty, I'm not too sure what I'm looking at. Now, Thomas Wade has got that. My only slight concern is I don't like this, that it didn't reach, but it may not make a difference, but two legs down. It's hard to say at the moment. I think you've got to be a little careful. Now, if this is a move up, which it could be, I've got to be careful going shorty. So I'd rather trap some longs there before I go short. Because this could be reversing. I'm going to get rid of that at the moment because I'm not so sure. So we know what Thomas thinks. Let's see what Daniel. Hard to say just yet. Yeah, it's hard to know. So just for now, let's put this like that. I don't think that's right. If it is, it's an overshoot. Yeah, I'm just sitting tight here. I'm not sure what's going on here. Could be reversing. It's always a possibility. Channel break. 2 pushes to a new low. Tough one. Yeah, I did. The new chart doesn't come up with them. I don't know why. And in all fairness, I never use them. So I did try and look for them, but I never use them. So I thought, well, I got everything I want up here. In fact, why is this not coming down a bit? Okay. I've got everything I want up here. So these are the tools I use. I don't use nothing on the left side. But yeah, I noticed that a couple of days ago when I installed. Trouble is, when you have a fresh install, all the indicators, you've got to try and get them back or figure out what they were called. It's an indicator drawing tool tile. Drawing tool tile. It does feel weird not having it, to be fair. Drawing tool tile. Don't know where it is. The only thing I did used to use thinking about it was the fib tool. Actually, and the path tool. But I can do this there, so... Can't remember. Oh, it's an indicator, is it? Let's have a look. That lag's flashing a bit. That's another thing I haven't downloaded. What is that it was called? Drawing tool. Oh, that there. Okay, let's give it a go. Apply. Assuming rows. 1. Visual. Not sure. Let's get rid of it for now. I'll have a play around with it later, see if I can figure out. So this is pushing down now. I'm guessing it's retesting these, so I'm just not super clear what's going on here, really. Touch, touch, touch. It's always a possibility. I'm just not sure, though. I like the way it's... Until I get some sort of other confirmation from somebody else looking at it. Jumping like crazy, is it? There's no news today. My news is... Oh, it's showing there, but there's no news today. I'm pretty sure there isn't. It's hard to know at the moment. I certainly wouldn't take a trade based on that. Just until I can figure out what I think is right. Okay, so Stan's got a chart there. So he's got that there with a break. New low. Yeah, he had that going up in a channel. I'm not so sure, though, because of this. Yeah. I'm not so sure about that. So he had that going up in a channel, which actually doesn't look too bad there. But there may be an overshoot, so that might cause this. It's hard to say at the moment. It's not super clear. We know it's bearish, but what's it doing now, though? We're kind of getting a little bit of sideways. Impact news 10. How far are you behind me, mate? Where's my economic news? Yeah. Why isn't mine showing? It's unusual, isn't it? That's showing, but lag's creeping up as well. I need to get that time sync. Let's see if I can get that time sync. That does keep it under control. Oh, no, okay. I'm going to have to download it. On the damn thing now. I'll sort it out. So I've got to sort the time sync out. Got to put that little circle around me and then update the settings so you can get HD. Yeah, it does look a bit rangy, doesn't it? Once we have this down, there is a lower high there, but I'm not too sure about this. It may work, but we've already had a break from this in a new low, so there may be some bottoms there. It may work, but just doesn't do anything for me, to be honest with you. there is kind of a little bit of support along there. So it's not only that, really. We've had a channel with a break and a new low. So, and it is this kind of 4 bars back to back here. So this is a little bit dangerous anyway. It's a lower high on this chart. It isn't on this chart. But it is a little bit sideways here. So it could pop back up, certainly above that. Or it could come down for a second leg. I don't know, really. I don't know if there's a bigger channel. I don't think there is. It's just not sure at the moment. Let me just make this thing a bit thicker. I don't like it too black, so let's make it like a dark something or other. Let's go with that. That's a bit better. So it is working by the looks of things. There's going to be liquidity there, which we're below there. There's probably a bit there. So it is working. It's just a bit too early for me. It is a little bit congested, so I can't see many taking that. Found it. Okay, that's just sort my lag out. That's one more thing out of the way. Okay, so channel break, new low. It's hard to know what it's doing here. It's a bit unusual looking. Could be bouncing for a move up, or it could be leg up, and then something else. It's hard to say at the moment. You've got to be a bit careful here, though. Maybe a larger channel down there like that. It's a bit irrelevant, really, anyway, to be honest with you. Let's leave it at that. So high or low on this side, but there's a bit of support here. We've bounced a couple of times, so I won't want to go long up there. We may get a triple test, 1, 2, 3, and this may come down for a second leg. It's a bit choppy. Just a little bit choppy. It's so easy to get into the wrong trade. See if there is a channel. We've already had a break and a new low, 2 legs up. So we may just be retesting this area with a view to a big push up. I don't really know. It's hard to say. You know, big move down. We could have some kind of a penguin style setup, something like that. Leg and a leg, and then follow. It could be that kind of thing. So if you think about this as one big move down, 2 attempts to push up, or a correction, or it may just be testing those lows for a big push up. I'll tell you what I can do. Let's just have a look at bookmap, see what that's showing me. Yeah, if you're not seeing a detailed picture at the moment, I haven't. I've literally just been rushing to get it all, the stream up and ready. I had to reboot everything, download everything. So, okay, so there's some big sell orders up here. I had my feeling that there would be. So, 650, which is, well, we're there actually. So those two pushes up could spell a move down possibly.
All right, fat seller.
Yeah, if you're not seeing very good
pushing
quality
price
at the
down.
moment, I haven't. It's one thing I've neglected to do, the settings, but I will sort that out for tomorrow. You want to see me in all my glory. So let's just bring that over here a minute.
Spoofed.
So you can see a chunk of orders at 650 up here. Which is there. Ah, I've got the old version course, yeah. When you double click that, the whole thing lights up. It shows you where it is. But that's where those orders are, 650. I'll download the new version. I thought that might be what caused the problem. But yeah, that line 650. And there's a bunch of sell orders which are about to get hit.
Iceberg ES buy.
One tick, okay.
Iceberg ES sell.
That's picking those orders. Now, are we going to get a push down? We could well do. So, I'm going to do that. Looks like a little break to me. So, if we can get a lower high from here, then I'd have a go at that. There's two nice legs up. We hit those orders, so we're into dark area now. So, we want to see some big, aggressive sell orders come in. Not getting. Oh, there is more orders coming up here.
Stop NQ buy.
See, that to
Sweep
me,
NQ
that's a
buyers.
correction of sorts. You can't confuse that with a channel, really. It may be a retest and then a channel, but obviously that's just too shallow to be a channel, isn't it? But obviously we could have something else here that may take us up. But the way that pushes up, okay, sorry. It's bookmap. I forgot that makes a noise. Yeah, I've just disabled it. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, so there is orders around 55. If this goes up too much, I can't see it coming back down. So, there is liquidity up here, but I can't see it getting up that far. Maybe wrong. So that looks like two legs up in a bearish bar. Lower high, I'd have a go at that. There's 5.6 points to the EMA. Looks like two legs. Second leg isn't as big, but I don't think that's massively important if we get a second, a lower high. Okay, so if you'd have taken that one, you'd have got stopped. I would have preferred it to go a little bit higher. I mean, it may be a bigger channel, but it's going up quite steep and quite tight for me. So my guess is it's probably two legs. Yeah, there's a couple of people with a bigger channel there. So what I may do is do a larger channel on the one and leave it tighter on the other one that it's already had a break. That's the type of thing that I would expect Dan to do. Now, sometimes he does the opposite. It's hard to fathom. Looking at big orders at 60, so maybe this thing is getting dragged up. Big orders at 60. See him up there. Looks like it's getting, and there's some really large orders. It does look like it's getting sort of drawn up there. I'd be surprised if you don't hit that. We're literally knocking on the door now, I think. So it's hard to say, really. What I will say is we are more or less this measured move. So it's always useful to pay attention to that, because funny enough, that measured move is right where those orders are. Now, whether that's random or not, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't jump into a trade. It's hard to say, really, because your feelings towards how it's changing is constantly adapting. It's like driving, isn't it? You're constantly adapting to your surroundings. So we've hit that measured move right there, and those sell orders. Now is the thing going to come climbing down? It's hard to say. Lower high is the safer option. There is 5 points of the EMA, so there's plenty of. Still got to be a bit careful. Yeah, same here. It does look like it's continuing on up now, to be honest with you. Maybe changing. I can't see this. It's gone above liquidity there and there. So maybe this is reversing. It's hard to say. I wouldn't expect it to continue up at that rate, but never say never. It may be a spike in a channel, actually. Sometimes it's just not clear, is it? That doesn't look awful. So that looks okay to me. It's definitely working up. So if you went from there to there, that would put you there. Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. Oh, excuse me. boy, I drank some whiskey last night. Oh, I had a fair old few. I certainly had half a tub or bottle. I was a bit frustrated yesterday because of all this bloody Ninja Trader stuff, so I drowned my sorrows. Well, I've bought a bottle of Bunnahabhain. Trouble is, Bunnahabhain's very dark green glass, so you can't quite see. You have to kind of go by weight, and it feels very light. So I may have had more than half a bottle. I'm not too sure, but I felt better, and I slept well. That was the main thing. Remember, no streaming on Monday. I'm in surgery. Fingers crossed. My daughter's gone down with the virus, so if I'm dropping her off, I'm wearing a mask, and she is. So, fortunately, we've got some still knocking around the house from COVID. But if I catch a virus, they won't operate. So I'm trying to stay out of the way. I need to get this operation done and dusted so I can start eating a load of crap again. So, a little channel with a break, new low. I'm just not doing nothing here at the moment. This thing could rocket up or it could come down. But something like that with a little break. We've had a new low by a tick. You notice that does that, doesn't it? Sometimes I wonder if he's obviously designed it to do that, to kind of move out the way once we kind of get a break. I always put it back because it annoys me. I like to keep it how I want it, but perhaps it's there for a reason. It's hard to know what's going on here. That does look like some kind of spike and channel. That fits relatively nice in there. But that's just what I think, whether it's right or not. If I look at bookmap, there's it's why I use this. It's useful where to not take a trade. So when we were getting a possible second leg up here, I was looking at orders back here, which is why I stayed out of it. And hey, presto, it didn't work. So I kind of like that. But there is orders above it, and there's orders below price at the moment. So it could do either, as we can see. All right, that was froze for some reason. As we can see, there are orders up here. There's a chunk down here around the 50, right down here. So whether this thing has a break new high, sellers come in around about here and the thing takes a drop. So you can see there's orders there at 57 and between 50 and say 54. So let me just mark that. So orders between 50 and 54. So some orders around about here. And some at 57. About here. So we may get a drop down. So those sell orders are around about this, around about here, which may mean two pushes up a little bit higher now. So they're between 67 and 70. So that's why I use that thing for that little box there. I'll have to get it back. It's that I use. So there's orders around there. Let's get rid of these as well. And where is it? And there as well. Somewhere around about there. So we made two pushes, hit these sell orders, so they're up to 70, which is around about there somewhere. And there's a chunk of them. Wow, there's a chunk of them even lower than that, 50 to about 54. Sorry, they're a bit lower than I thought. 50 to 54. So we could, actually, fun enough, it's around about this area, so we could have two legs down and the buyers may push it up. So it could be, we could have something like that. Bit of a correction, loads of buyers getting here somewhere, but this is just speculation really. Is bookmap making noise? It shouldn't do. It shouldn't do. I've got the noise disabled. Let me just check. I've only got one version of bookmap up. I have. I've only got one version of it up. Can you hear the bookmap sound? Can you? Perhaps you're hearing things. Yeah, the volume's down. If I turn it up,
Question,
you should
Tony.
hear it.
No, it would not be. Not yet.
But but I'll turn it down. Someone mentioned they heard it. Okay, so channel, break, one push up to a new high. Could consider that a second. That may go up a bit higher. I won't want to jump in here. It may come down. In fact, there are orders at 65 now, so maybe we get a lower high. The trouble is... no, it's all right. I was going to say something else. So... look. So there is a few orders back at 69, which is up here, just in case we get a second push up here. There's some at 60, which is down here, in case we have a break in a new low that may want to buy. And the majority of buyers are between 50 and 40. There's a big chunk. 50 and 54-ish. A little bit higher. Took that second entry short after the break new high. Yeah, I kind of thought if we get a lower high, I may have a go at that. No, I just left it. It's a little bit sideways, isn't it? But a lower high, I would have had a go. So orders popping up around about the 68, which is here. So it may have another little tap of this. There's always a possibility. Sometimes these are drawn from the top. There's always a possibility we get something like that. It's hard to say, really. This thing could come up and we may get a bounce and we may have a wider channel. There's so many ifs and buts, isn't there? Let me just make these bars a bit thicker. God, it's coughing her head off downstairs. Don't like that. Okay, so that may be working. It's hard to say. A few touches there, touch. Yeah, Taylor's just dropped the same, so he's looking at the same. So that's always comforting. It couldn't go up at that rate. It would have to span out a little bit. There's orders up here, see, in this little box here, so it has picked up some of them orders. There's still more, 67 to 70, which is back in here again. So I wouldn't, if you took a short there, see that, I mean, that's one good thing I like about Bookmap. If you thought you wanted to take a short there, you can see a big, thick chunk of orders right above that one. So you know, you obviously wouldn't take that as a patch trader because we've got a little channel going on, so you wouldn't short it. But, you know, if somebody had this completely different, that's why I like it, because if we were at the top of a range or something and I saw that and I saw that chunk of sellers up there, it's exactly what it does. So that I find it useful for staying out of bad trades or trades that may. Trouble is, if there's a bunch of orders sitting there, there's a fair amount of them, so I'm guessing they're probably going to know a little bit more than me. So it's a good idea to keep out of that. So that's kind of why I like it. I've gone through phases of using it and not. I used to try and use it to actually get into a trade or hold on, but I don't find it useful for that. So it just gives me that little bit of safety if I'm thinking of taking a trade. And I just like to check that there's not a load of orders above it. Some orders, I suppose, is expected, but if there's a ton of orders, you may just be getting kind of sucked. You may just be getting kind of sucked into it. So we're picking up those orders. Were in that area now. Broke above, swing high and left. Some of those before I pull back. Yeah, it's not a huge amount there, is it? Yeah, it kind of does feel to me like it's reversing, I think. Depends if you like, depends if you kind of think about those. We're at that 50% level now, so whether it'll come down, it could well do. It's pushed up steep, not so steep. So it may just continue up. I'd expect at least something, a bit of a correction, and then a wider channel if it continues up, but this wasn't super wide, and it was still quite bearish, so I just don't know what's going on at the moment. So there's still a bunch of thick orders down there. They're still sat there, so I'm guessing if traders are thinking we're going up, maybe we get a correction, they jump in here. You can see them buy orders sat down there, can't you, between 50 and just under 55, something like that. Those ones have got eaten now. So if you've seen large orders, my thinking that they want you to see that. Nobody wants it. It's hard to say, really, because I know there are people that do that. They do put orders, but for the most, if I'm thinking about taking a short trade and I see something there, more often than not, it would have triggered me and moved up. Now, you're always going to get orders in all these areas. You're never going to, but if there happens to be a thick lump of them, I find it serves me more than it doesn't, if you know what I mean. But the trouble is with Bookmap, really, especially from my perspective, it's a matter of looking at it, seeing what price does, and trying to get a feel for how they kind of interact. But as I say, I used to, if I see, big, thick orders, I'd be looking to follow those orders up. But you've still got to kind of have a setup. And sometimes you'll see these thick orders, price will get drawn towards it and they'll get yanked. So, there are traders that do that as well. But for me, it tends to work better if I to stay out of a trade, or am I getting trapped? Usually if it's, at the top of a range or some top of the bottom of a range or something like that. Excuse me, but there's no magic bullet. It's just about using what's available and just seeing if it helps you, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to say, really, how well things work for certain people. There's probably a multitude of ways to use Bookmap. Going for a small amount, how much does... I don't really know how much it plays a part, but for me, I find it protects me a little bit more where not to get in. If I've misjudged things. I can't stop yawning now. Excuse me, I usually go shopping, but because I spent all this time fanning around this computer, I never got me coffee beans. I ran out of them yesterday, so you might have to put up with me yawning a bit. We've only got decaf in the house for my daughter, so that's going to do me no good. So now there may be a small micro channel with a break. Let's see, there are buy orders at 65. So there are buy orders here. So is that a bad trade? I don't think it's a terrible trade. their orders up 70 and that, so it may well pop up. I don't think it's terrible. And we do seem to be going up, don't we? It's not worked anyway. Now, if you look left, I always say if I take a trade, look left. Now, what I will say is there is a couple of bounces before this went down, so price could respect that area, and it kind of looks like it does. So whether that'll cause a break, which it has, or whether it will create something more, I don't know. But often these areas, you can clearly definitively see we got two bounces there, and funnily enough, it's done it at exactly the same place. Is that random? Not really. We know price, moves around at levels. So you just got to be a little cautious. And funnily enough, as we've had that bounce, we've now had a break. Now, is this a break or a new channel or what? There's always a possibility we could have this channel with a break, two pushes to a new high, and it could reverse. It does look like a channel. So it has picked those orders up down there. And the next lot of orders around about 72, 73, which is funnily enough at these highs. So I would need a higher low here, really, just to stop me getting. Because if you look there, it's hard to say, really. It's not super easy. So, I mean, there could be something like that. It's not super clear, but that big bull bar now has just triggered and it's starting to work back. So, that's why it's a good idea not to take stuff like that. Now, on here, it does look like 3 or 4 little micros with a break and a new low. So you'd have to get a lower high here, say if you're getting trapped. Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it? It's hard to know. So if you look at this now, all of a sudden that big bullish bar is not looking so hot, is it? It's quite kind of useful having these two charts that differ very slightly, because you kind of got a slight different perspective. But I've gone from there to that kind of next swing. We've had the pull down, we've had a little bull bar, we've crossed over, we've touched there. So that doesn't look too bad. Now you may draw that up like that and say there's a bit of an overshoot. In fact, that probably looks a bit better. So an overshoot may constitute for price going up. It's hard to say at the moment. There's nothing you can do here now. It's clearly stacked up and going sideways. So is it going to push up and test this? I'd say probably, but who knows? Still a chunk of orders, although they have thinned out somewhat. They were thick red there. A lot of them have been yanked, but they're still. So, there could be a correction here, a bunch of orders here to push up again. It's just a load of ifs and buts, really. But it's nice to just kind of know this. It does give you a better overall understanding of what may be going on. So, I'm going to adjust this now. Let's put that like that. And we've got a break. Have we got a new low? Yeah, okay. So channel, break, new low. That looks okay to me. And now a strong push up. So higher, low would be the key. Now, are we going to get one now? I don't know. I don't think so. That's quite a substantial move up. So we've got a new low by 1 tick. We still could have a couple of pushes up and it come down, but so with these orders down here, we could have something like that. Now that doesn't get us quite in the ballpark, but it may get us somewhere close. You can definitely tell there's a bull bar there and another one there, so there's probably going to be liquidity below there, maybe here, so it may come down for a second leg. I really don't know. It looked like it was strong for a minute, but all of a sudden we pushed that really strong, lost about just under half of it, and now we're pulling back a bit. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, just incidentally, if anybody noticed, you can only see me in 720p. I literally had to reinstall Windows and everything. So it's the one thing I didn't do, set up my my OBS stuff, all this stuff here. I didn't go into settings and output and audio. I can't do it while I'm on the stream. I did try, but I will do that later. I've got a couple of more bits and pieces to do later to get it all up working tomorrow. So that way you get to see me in my natural glory. Okay, so Taylor is in a long trade here. Is that a bad idea? Not necessarily. Could be some form of a triple test there. Maybe a bounce. It actually doesn't look too bad. We made it by a tick, but then we started going a bit sideways, and I didn't like that just below the EMA because it's a little bit stacked, so you don't know whether you're going to trigger and come down a little bit lower. But he's took that out for 12 ticks. Good on him. There's always the possibility we could do that. Yeah. So Taylor took that. Thomas Wade's looking for a higher low. Same here, really. I would have to have a higher low. It does look like it's working up there. There's still orders up above 70, so it could still get up here. And there's some 72 and 75. 72 is more or less the tops. So I see. It's hard to know here when it's going up and it's slowly going sideways. You never know where this thing's going to rush down. Is that strong position? I'm not so sure. It could flush down for a second leg. Concerns me when it goes up very slowly. It looked like it was super strong, and then all of a sudden we had that little pullback, and it started going a bit sideways. So it's kind of how it looks and how it feels. This just doesn't strike me as it's strong enough to push up in one belt. So I think for me, I would be concerned there. Now, if we have a strong bull bar thereabouts, that might be a better option. But my gut feeling is this is likely to get taken out. And that would take us down to this second leg. So if it takes below there, that's already gone. Would it come down there? Maybe. It's around about that level. If that bar would have been sat tight on that EMA, usually they're quite safe, but it's hard to know here. See, now we're going sideways, but that I think is vulnerable. It has made some points, so I dare say there's probably a lot of traders out of it. So it may be easy getting below it. You may call that a triple test. It's too far up for me, especially with that liquidity down there. To get into a trade here, I'd have to get rid of that, especially as we've come so close. If we do come down here, we may get a second entry long to push up. You just never know. This may just rocket up. But while it's all sideways, I have to think about what's left and what could get picked off before this thing moves up. See, there is, funnily enough, you can almost predict this. See those orders down there, 375. It's below all this, so there are traders 375 there, and there's some at 70. So 375 is about there. Is it about there or about there? It's hard to say. It's about there. So there are buy orders a tick below there, or maybe around here. So it may hold. It's trying to. It does look like it's holding. Might have gone up a bit too far to drop down now. It's hard to say. Trouble is, that looks a little bit too piddly weak for me, really, especially with that there. If it came down there, tick below there and sat bullish on there, I'd 100% jump all over that. But you just never know. Is it going to clear this out before it pushes up? As it's going sideways, often that's the case. We have a rush down. It's still not over and done with, look. So if you look at this now, we've got a channel down, 2 attempts to push up with a bearish bar. My gut feeling now, if that bearish bar triggers, this is coming down. But you just never know. 1 minute looks like it's going up. Next minute looks like it's coming down. So bearish bar pushed above there, came straight down. All of a sudden crossed over, started pushing back. But this is struggling to get up for me, so I think there's going to be more orders, and there is more orders below here. So if there's more buyers below here, not enough to push this up, it's probably going to drop. So I'm going to put my measurement. You never know, it may just rocket back up again. It's just not being super clear at the moment. So I still think that that's a possibility. If it gets below here, it may rush then. But you never know. It may drop down, and then obviously buyers are trying to push this back up, and it's finishing bullish again. So the trouble is, what I am seeing, especially on the left side, it's clearly getting a bit choppy and sideways now. So it could do a bunch of things. Another reason as well, there's a second entry short there. You can clearly see a channel down there. Now you may even argue that channel is intact. We've got 2 pushes up and a bearish bar. So my gut feeling now, based on what I'm seeing here, it's going to come down. But when it goes sideways, for me, you just never quite know. When it goes sideways, there's obviously a bit of a battle going on. But 1 minute it's pushing down. Next minute, when it's down, it's pushing up. Buyers are pushing it up from down here. Sellers are dropping it from here. So it's just, when it's like this, it just gets a bit harder, I think. It's hard to say, really. It's hit and miss, I think, at the moment. It could go up, it could come down. 1 minute it looks bullish, then we have that quick drop. Now it's going up again. But what I will say, as much as that looks like a second entry short, and this may be a lower high, because of the overall price at the moment is up, I'd have to be a bit careful. Mind you, everything's played out, I think. So maybe we've got 2 pushes up and it comes down. But look at that now. We're nearly above there. So if you'd have taken that trade, it's held so far. Oh. Doesn't look like it's going to work its way up. It's still done at an angle, so it's held. So I think when we have that, obviously, you know, it's got more chance of going up. But it's not doing it at a comfortable level for me to think about a trade. I wouldn't have taken that one. That's just no good for me anyway. It doesn't look too bad on here. And it may well come to work, but while it's a little bit choppy, sometimes a market can just surprise you. So Dan's in there at the moment. So Dan's looking at the Mac's looking at the same thing. So he's kind of got the same thing. There's a channel there with a break, and now we're coming up, which we are. So took the fail second entry short, did you? That one there, or this one here? It's hard to know. 1 minute looks bullish, then it drops quickly, then it pushes up. So it's all over the place at the moment. The red pin bar, yeah. Yeah, it looked much better on this chart. It was, well, although it's red, I mean, it's still, although it's red, it's still bullish, isn't it? It's still finishing the top 3/4. It looked much better there. But if you look at it, it's still working up, isn't it? There's obviously a little bit of sideways to it, so it's not doing it easily. But who knows? Oh, excuse me. See, 1 minute it pushes up strong, next minute it drops, then it does it again. Now it's on its way now. I wonder who will win over. It's hard to say, really. If we can get below there, it may have a quick drop. That's what makes me nervous about going long, because the slower it does it, the more time it takes to grind, the often it just comes rushing down. But look, it's come right down here like that one, and now all of a sudden it's pushing up again. So there's obviously a battle going on there, so I'm quite happy to leave them to it. Okay, Pairs has a new program, 80% off and 8%. Did they really? Don't know. I've been busy this morning. Let's have a look. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I can't speak about the 80% evals. It's not super clear. Let me just have a look. But yeah, 80% off. They had to do something. People just don't buy them otherwise, do they? I'll update my thing later anyway. Is this coming down? It looks to me like it's going to rush down in a minute. But I could be wrong, of course. Oh, yes. Okay. So 80% off and $85 for lifetime fee. That's good, that is. So excellent. So I'll update that. Yeah, this is going to push down for me. Once it gets below there, it'll get a bit easy. Mind you, I keep saying that. Wow. And then all of a sudden the rush up, look, so that would have held and that would have held. So that's what I mean. You just never quite know. It depends. Well, we're not up there yet. It depends. And it's the 30th. Excellent. Let me just adjust this. Give me 1 second. Brilliant. Sorted. I'm going to have a couple of them myself later. So, look at this thing coming down. So, we still didn't make a new high, did we? Touch, touch, touch. Definitely some support there. So, look at this thing. Now it's choppy. Yeah, Apex, if you follow the rules, Apex will pay you. They've never, well, that's not strictly true. They've never not paid me. They've refused me a few times, but I pretty much know they were going to. In fact, once they did pay me, which is surprising. But the one thing they do is they'll just say trade another 8 days. So even if you did get lucky and get a huge chunk, or you took a massive risk and nearly blew your account from one or two ticks, which I've done myself, they still allow you to trade for another 8 days and they'll still pay you. So I believe that I saw on a video somewhere a company, a prop company said, I don't know, some guy took a risk and a gamble or whatever, and they actually removed the money from his account. So, but you know, Apex aren't for everyone. You know, everyone's got their own preferences. At the moment, for me, it's Apex and Traderify. I like Traderify because I can get straight in live. And I've used Apex for nigh on a couple of 2.5 years now, maybe a bit longer. So if you follow the rules, you do get paid. And in all fairness, if you are breaking the rules, it's a matter of time before you blow an account anyway. It really is. I know because I've done it so many times. But if you follow the rules, you get rewarded for it. I know Apex had a few hiccups. Every company does. You know, I think their biggest mistake was when they started adhering to the rules without really giving people notice. People got frustrated with it. You know, if they'd have said from the beginning of next month, you've now got to follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, people have rules. Every company has rules. If you don't follow the rules, you know, they'll kind of refuse you or not pay you or whatever. Everyone's the same. You know, companies make mistakes. It's kind of our you know, life. It's kind of how you evolve, isn't it? But you know, it's down to the individual, really. Some people like certain companies. Some people swear by Bullinox. But one thing why I won't touch Bullinox is you can only trade Bullinox at the same time. You can't trade Bullinox with any other prop firm. They won't allow it. No idea why, but they won't allow it. But I believe their evals are quite cheap. But I just won't entertain them because there's no point. Yeah, grass is always greener. People know if you've taken a risk. I know if I've taken a risk because I'm prepared for it. But I don't mind there because at my first opportunity, I'll apply for a payment, get refused, and then start counting 8 days. But after a while, when you stop doing that, you know you're going to get paid. And it's a nice feeling. But you have to follow the rules. It just doesn't work. I can't tell you how many hundreds and hundreds of times, and it is hundreds and hundreds of times. Affiliation. To be fair, I don't make much on affiliates. I would never advertise a company that I thought was a bad company. I got a company who messaged me. I saved the message, but then I think I deleted it. I can't remember what they were called. They messaged me maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they said to me I could have unlimited amount of PA accounts, but I couldn't withdraw from them. So if you were a big YouTuber like Patrick Wheeland, you could have a multitude of these accounts that you couldn't withdraw from just to show that you're... Now, if you had a load of accounts which you never had to pay for, some people would probably trade them and it would look easy. But there's 2 points there. One, I'm not playing around with play money. I want to try and win money. So there would be no point in me. Those accounts are for people who can't trade. I believe I can. It's taken me long enough, but I wouldn't advertise something that I thought was crap. I generally wouldn't. And I've always had the attitude that, you know, I've met people in my life and someone said, oh, I don't like them because of this. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. If they're nice to me, I'm nice back. You know, if they're nice people, I've got a lot of time for them. It's hard to know what's going on here. So it's nothing to do with affiliates, why we do that. Yeah, affiliates are useful. They help. They've helped a lot more in the past, but I wouldn't advertise something if I thought it was shit. I really wouldn't. What's going on here? I rarely mention affiliates from Traderify. Why? Because they're not for everyone. It costs a lot more money, and you're better off, unless you can make money, to stick with things like Apex because they're cheap. And I rarely mention codes now. Usually I'll do it once when we have it, but I rarely mention it. I used to make a video and post it up whenever the other day. I don't bother anymore. The people are out there. They know if they want to use my code, they can. If they don't, I'm all right with that. I know Apex on everyone's cup of tea. So it's hard to know what's going on here. So we've had pushed up and we're bouncing and rattling around here. So are we going to go up or are we going to come down? Couldn't tell you. I might consider to take back. I think I tend to hear probably the best things about Take Profit Trade than anybody else. The only reason I don't use them as much is because I wouldn't say they're great for newer traders because you've got to pay, I think is it about $100 or $103 or something like that. It's an expensive price to pay if you're not likely to pass it and make money out of it. So if you're new as a trader, I would just stick as cheap as possible for evaluations. And the other thing, you've got to take 5 days, which sometimes is a bit of a pain. But in all fairness, if you've got to make $3,000, taking 5 days is probably a smart thing to do anyway. You know, I've known traders in the past. What's it? Future Sniper Beast. What's his name? He took about 2 months to pass them. Now that's sensible. It's too sensible for me, but it's sensible. So everyone's different. I like to rush them, and which is probably not the wisest thing to do. But we're all different, aren't we? I'm a bit stupid at times. I do tend to rush them when they're cheaper. I must say though, I prefer the 80% off is okay. But the 80% off with the $85, that's much better because 85 or 40, you're saving $55 there when you pay the PA fee. That's like having for the amount of money you pay, that's like having the evaluation for free and paying about $120 for the PA account. So it's super cheap. I love it when they do the... because I begrudge paying $140, but $85 I'm much happier with. But yeah, I do hear good things from Take Profit Trader. He's, I think the guy is the CEO. Is an ex. You guys probably know. He's an ex professional ice hockey player. I saw him being interviewed on something, and he came over really smart, actually, really sensible, compared to that idiot who used to do fast track trading. I didn't want be anywhere near that guy. But the My Funny Futures guy, he sounds sensible. I think it was Patrick Whelan was interviewing him. Patrick Whelan was his normal annoying self. It's kind of the way he is, but the other guy came over as really smart and quite switched on. Patrick Whelan's, he's kind of the drama guy, isn't he? He's more of an entertainer, really. But he's good at it. He makes a stink load of money out of it, that's for certain. There's kind of a hidden second entry short there. We push up, we pull back a bit, and we push up, but James Sixsmith. Is that his name, is it? James Sixsmith. Oh, that's him. Yeah. That's the guy, isn't it? Yeah, he is an ice hockey player. Assuming that's... Oh, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That's him, isn't it? I think that's the guy. It looks like him. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy. Hockey player making less than 30. What he was making $30,000 a year. A year. Start a multi-million-dollar trading company. Yeah. It is. So he comes over as quite switched on. I like that. Take Profit Trading. Yeah, I like him. He's nice and calm compared to what's her name? He's nice and chilled out, isn't he? He's switched on. Actually, I like the sound of him. See, we're really struggling to get above this area, so I'm guessing if we push down here and clear these lows, we may get a move up. I don't really know, actually, because we've got a channel down there. So that may change things. Whereas before, it's a little bit hit and miss, isn't it? That one there, yeah, it didn't look like a terrible trade. Kind of a hidden second end. We push up, pull back, push up. The only thing, I'm just not super confident at trades like that. If they break above there and then drop, I'm more comfortable with that. Or if they're in clearer legs. But you can see this in a channel here, so there's a good chance it's going to come down. How far it comes down or what it does when it's down here is a different matter. There's liquidity down there, possibly here as well, whether it'll get down that far. Don't have a shallower uptrend drawn. Yeah, I did put that on earlier. There is a little bit there, though, isn't there? So maybe that had something to do with it. But at the moment, we're at all-time highs again, and this does look like it's looping down. So we push down, we pull back about 50%. We come down, we pull back about 50%. If we're, if the pattern's going to continue the same, then you would expect it possibly to go down. So that's interesting, just to be aware of. So maybe avoid going long at the moment. It's probably not the worst decision in the world to avoid longs. So if we go from there to there, we're about 50%. Yeah, thereabouts. This area as well. So we're kind of in the right ballpark. So is this going to push down now? I think it certainly could be. Still got those orders down here. Orders up top are thinning out a bit as well, so that may be a sign. They probably trade a pay every day, my friend. Yeah, I believe once you get above a certain amount, if you make, I don't know, say $200 a day for a week, you can withdraw that every day. The thing I like about that is it'll put pressure on the rest of the prop firms to up the game. I mean, if you think about Apex, you used to have to, when I started with Apex, you used to have to trade for 25 days before you could put in for a payment. I'm pretty sure it was 7 days you had to trade for an evaluation. Now it's a day. You can only take payments, I think, was it once or twice a month during the middle? Now it doesn't matter now. It's usually, I think when I put an order in for a payment, I haven't had one for 2 months, as you know, it tends to be between 1 and 3 days. On the odd occasion, it can take 4. And then usually 2 to 3 days after you get a payment. I don't mind that. But you can get a payment every 8 days. So it's getting better and better. I know Apex said maybe 6 or 8 months ago that they were looking into straight to funded. So that's one thing I'm waiting. I do like the straight to funded. I waste way more money when I'm doing evaluations because they're cheap. You know, those Traderfy accounts I've had for 16, 17, 18 days because I had to pay about $350 for them. So you can't afford to take silly risks when you're paying 10 times the price. So you got more chance of getting paid when you pay a bit more money, I think. It's attractive with evaluations so cheap, but the trouble is when they're cheap, you take less care of them. And it can get you into bad habits. So I like the idea of the straight to funded and paying a bit more because you are a little bit more sensible. So channel break, new low. So my guess is at the moment, yeah, there's orders popping up. This looks like it's coming down. So we've pushed up. We've made multiple attempts to. So this thing is coming down. So those orders that were down here are slowly disappearing. Now they were buy orders. So if this thing's looking like it's coming down, you probably won't want to be buying. So there are smaller orders around here. So I'm going to get rid of that now. So I think really I'm certainly on the lookout for shorts now because we've got this leg down, big push up, bunch of attempts. So we're looking for a pullback or some kind of correction or something like that. So I'm definitely thinking short now. Small break from this and a push up. Yeah, that's possible. There is always a possibility of this. That we bounce around the 50. I'm not convinced so. That's coming back. That doesn't look like a pullback to me. That's kind of a strong drop. We've gone down, what, 5, 10, 15 points. And looking back over the last few days, we're more or less, we've gone once, twice. We're more or less repeating the same pattern we've done here and here, obviously at different times of the day. And then when this pulls back, it drops relatively quickly. Pulls back, drops relatively quickly. And what's this doing? The same. We may not even get a look in, but it's going to have something. But yeah, it dropped relatively quickly, came down 10, 20, 25, 30 points. You ever want to trade your own money? Yes, at some point, when I feel like I can trust myself. Which I'm getting close, really. I want what I did say is when I can get maybe 6 to 12 consistent payments, then I would. I had 6 months in a row, then I took a risk with my stop and blew my account. So I want to stop doing that first of all. So if I can get through, the next 6 or 8 months without doing something stupid, then I may start to funnel, a bit, maybe 20% or something of payments or something like that into my own account. But yeah, I'm getting close. But if any newer traders out there, I would not touch your own money with a barge pole. Stick to a sim for a while and then slowly go into the cheapest evaluation you can find and just sort of gain that. It's amazed me how long it's taken. Everyone said it takes a lot longer than you think, it's harder than you think. But when you're just looking at bars going up and down, and all I've got to do is press a mouse, it's hard to sort of not get that feeling that it can't be that hard, but it certainly is. They did a poll on the Facebook group maybe 6 or 8 months ago. How long did it take people to become consistently profitable? And it was a resounding 4 to 6 years. So I'm coming up 5 years, so I'm kind of around about the middle. Trading personal account will be another learning curve. Yeah, absolutely. Stop moving. Nervous energy has been transferred into moving your take profit back and forth. Yeah. I'm not concerned so much with moving my stop at the moment. I don't have that urge to do it at the moment. I'm definitely more relaxed when I'm trading. When I started trading, I developed this little sniff and cough type of a habit. I actually spoke to my doctor about that, and he said, "What are you doing new in life?" And I told him, and he went, "Well, there's your answer." And sometimes I'll have a listen to older streams, and it's nowhere near as bad as it was. But the trouble is, when you're under stress, your body can do strange things. So all of a sudden we got a channel break new high. I was looking for a higher low. There was one here, but I was more focused on this chart at the time, so I didn't do nothing. So I'd like to see 2 attempts to push up, maybe sort of test this area somewhere, something like that. And maybe we'll see if we get a bigger channel. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a second. So there is some support there, or resistance. So let's see how far this goes. So there may be something like that with a small break, and it may come down, or there may be something wider. I still think we've got a break here. I'm pretty sure how Dan would be marking it. Little break. Leg and a leg. If we can get a lower high below support or something, then we may come down. We don't want to go much higher if this is a larger channel down. So we kind of did this, didn't we? We pushed up and we had that quick drop and a pullback. That big move down, didn't we? And we kind of had this there, then up to there, a little bit of this. That looks the same, doesn't it? And then we had the quick drop, and then a bit of a pullback, and then down again. So it does look very much like that, doesn't it? But this is pushing up a little bit stronger than that did. But we're not quite two little legs there, are we? So okay, I'm just going to take a quick break, make a cup of tea. Let me put. I did have time to put that on, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Good. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick few minute break, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Things I needed to do. Okay, channel break new high. Lower high there, wouldn't have taken that. Too close. Hard to know what's going on there, but a couple of legs up here and a drop. So it does look like it might be coming down. I can't see it pushing up any higher. There's always a possibility we could have 2 attempts and it could go, but it doesn't look like it to me. Looking at bookmap. This load of orders down around about 52, which is down here below those lows. There are some a lot lower. So this to me looks like it's slowly working down. Be nice to get a bit of a break, but it doesn't look like we're going to. We may. So we have got orders down here they kind of start at 55. The bulk of them are around about the 52, 53, 52. Now, are we going to pick up those straight away? I was hoping we'd get a pullback, but it didn't look like we're going to. Yeah, so channel break, he pushes to a new high. There was a lower high there, but it was above that EMA. It's a bit too early to figure out what exactly is going on there. I just had the feeling it wasn't going to pull back. I can't see it now. We're coming into this area of these orders. So we've broken that low there. So, I mean, that's a fair old move down without a break, really. Considering it's so tight. Okay. So, still orders down here. 51, 52, 50. Still around about down here. There is orders at 60 there. Sell orders at 60, not a huge amount. Still got a chunk around 50 to 52. Below there. Hmm. Okay, channel break, new high, buy a tick. Don't think there's a channel down there. It doesn't look right to me, that. Not a fan of that if it finishes bearish. I'd like a little bit more of a leg up. Be nice to come and test kind of this area, really. Okay, there is some support here. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I'm surprised there. I thought we were going to hit some support there and then drop it. It's hard to know what's going on here. This is going up quite strong. Should we move down to attempts push up? We've got a lower high here. I may be interested in that, but it may go down really quick. Let's just see if we
Order
go a lower
submitted.
higher. I'm going to bring that into the top so I can see it there. Maybe better on this one.
Order cancelled. So Thomas Way's got that as a whole channel. Like to see it come back a bit first and respect it. There may be a separate channel there with a break and a new high. Well, we didn't make a new high after this channel, so maybe that's what this is going to do. Who knows? Maybe this is looking more like a channel now. Not as yet, mate. No. How you doing, Paul? Oh, incidentally, if anybody is sort of newish, I had Ninja Trader issues yesterday. I could not for the life of me open. I spent ages online with.
Trader help, and they wanted to do a remote hookup tomorrow, but I didn't want to wait, so I ended up, as it's a new computer and I hadn't spent a long time getting software on, I just wiped Windows and reinstalled everything. And the only one thing I didn't do was update the settings in the output settings in OBS, which is why you're only seeing me in 720. Now, some people might say that's an improvement, or I'll leave the decision up to you. So I'll sort that out later. I mean, you want to see a little bit better, don't you? So we'll see anyway. So I'll sort that out later, and that'll make the picture a bit better anyway, a little bit clearer. Hopefully the sound's fine. I photographed the settings before I deleted everything, so I thought, while I had everything yesterday, this does look like it's trying to break the highs of this kind of spike and channel. We're not far away, so I'll be surprised if it comes that far. And so I think this is probably worthy of its own channel now, I think. Probably from there, I would have suggested. Works there. It doesn't quite on this side, but I'm okay with that. We're still in the channel, I think, at the moment. In fact, I might just cut that little bit off. Okay, we're a couple of 3 ticks away from these highs. Now, we've been up here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. This is the 6th time, whether you count those or not. But you can clearly see there's some resistance there. So are we going to get through it? Who knows? But this is quite strong, so I'm guessing it's probably going to get above there. Which is there. Let's leave it so we're not far away. We're going to get a quick flick up. I'm guessing we probably will. Okay, so that's broken those highs there. So channel up, spike and channel, break. I mean, it's one hell of a way round, isn't it? But we eventually got there. So now where do we go? Do we have a couple of legs back? And there's, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a larger overall trend up by the end of the day. Who knows? If we get up here, then down to here and up again, there may be something larger. It's hard to tell. That's moved quite strong off there anyway. Now, there was some orders down there. Some of them got eaten, but the others didn't. So it may just be a... it's hard to know. Now we're above this. This thing could career down, but we could also have a second leg up, which would take us back up to this area. It's hard to tell at the moment. May do, may not do. So I think we're still in this channel at the moment. It's a little bit different, but I got that bit there. I can't seem to get rid of it, but it fits okay there. So yeah, so that's what I like about this. So he's done the same. He's missed that little bit there. I've noticed he does that, and that's okay with me. But it's still weird, isn't it? Look at that. Although it's following the top, it's still a bit odd, isn't it? His channel, it's touching there and there. Mine's touching there, and it's still quite a bit away from there. So I don't know how they're wrong. He's touched on the red bar. Weird, isn't it? It may be the fact that he's... So I could pull that this way a fraction. It doesn't really matter too much. Excuse me. See, there's always a possibility that there is a bit of a spike in channel there. But it doesn't look terrible at the moment. Trouble is, what makes me nervous is when we clear this line and we get a second entry long, do we continue up? Screen time, yeah. I've made mine more grey. I found out when they're white, when it was white. I went for a period again. Now, I'm assuming I was putting it down to that, but it's like anything. Staring at something white for a long period of time is not good for you, is it? So I made mine more. I think I've got this. Is it text grey or something? Yeah, slate grey text colour. It just takes a sting out of it. I mean, if I change this now, compare it to that one. If I take that over to white, it's brighter. It jumps out at you. And that, to me, I can feel the difference straight away. It's slightly more bearing on you than this. That's slightly more uncomfortable to look at. And when I switch over to this, whatever it was, there, that one, boom, it just, I can feel my eyes relax. I tried black. I don't feel like I can see it as crisp with black. This I prefer, so it's just a matter of getting something comfortable. I mean, you can get, I think my wife wears some glasses where they block out this so-called blue light. Who knows how much of a difference it makes. Maybe if you're watching the chart for 8 to 9 hours a day, if you stuck on a computer screen at work for 8, 9 hours a day, it may be a bit of an issue, but you have a smaller monitor. Yeah. It's definitely worth adjusting around and finding it comfortable, but white I don't think is good for you long term. The one thing about our job is you got to look after your eyes. Without your eyes, you're screwed. That's one thing we do need to keep is our eyesight. Mind you, you're screwed from a lot of jobs without your eyesight, but trader, you definitely need it. I wonder if there is like a spike in a channel there. It's hard to say. Trouble is, what makes me nervous about breaking above this is it going to push higher. It's hard to say. That's a leg up. I'd say there's a good chance we're going to get a second leg up. So I think if we got a decent setup, it's not a huge channel, so we wouldn't get much of a break. But if we can get down this EMA and get something, it might not be a bad option. So would you consider this maybe a little bit sideways than a breakout? It's hard to say. Looks a bit better here. I think sometimes you're better off waiting for the higher low, but you haven't got much space. Small bar there, just too far from that EMA. I'm sitting tight there. I know it's only 6 ticks, but it's just not close enough to that EMA for me. Is it going to work? Probably, but it's too risky, that, for me. It's too far from the EMA. Now, all of a sudden, when you're seeing this come down, where's this going? Bound to come down that EMA. I do like the fact that we've had a little kind of 2 legs down. So if we can get a bullish bar there, it might not be a bad option. I'm looking at Dan's chart. He's got it going straight up. So if we can get an order, the trouble is, look at that thing. It's hit the deck there and just rushed up. I prefer another bar, actually. That's no good, to be honest with you. I got nothing on either of my charts, to be honest with you. But it hit that EMA and then just turned quick. So there is kind of 2 legs down there, but you need something bullish there, really. You may even argue there's a small kind of micro. Either way, you've got to get below there, really. So let me see what I can see that's interesting. Is that I like that. There's a little bit of support there. We need to get a little bit below this. There's nothing you can do. There's no entry here anyway, to be honest with you. There is that bar. It's just I'm just not a massive fan of this for some reason. I don't think it's terrible. It's just too big for me. It ain't finished yet. It may be actually halfway up this. I'm just not interested. It's 13 ticks, tick above, tick below. It's 15 ticks already and it's not finished. There's just not enough space to the highs for me, really.
Order cancelled.
What I will say is, looking on here, there's going to be liquidity there and there, isn't there? There's bound to be people, when it's broke above this, picking tops. You've got a bearish bar, another bearish bar, another bearish bar. So
got a higher low here. That might not be a bad option to go long, but you would expect that area to get taken out, wouldn't you? But trouble is, you never quite know. Who knows? They end up having something like that. It's hard to say, really. Something about this I didn't like. We went off here and then we stayed. It's like a two-tiered channel. We stayed in the top. So that tells me, is it a two-tiered channel or is it just a spike in a channel? Either way, even the spike in the channel, we've had a break and made a couple of attempts to push higher. So that would concern me a little bit. But just have to wait for something to look nice. Make all that a bounce, you make it. I'd like to go up and have another bounce here, in which case we may then work our way up. We may need a break out of this, and then it's hard to say at the moment. We're just going to have to sit tight. Looks like two legs there. Let me just get rid of this. That would be too far down, so I'd probably do the leg from here, I think. Somewhere on about here. There and there. It does look like whether there's a channeler breaking a new low or whether there's a channeler breaking a new low. Either way, there's a new low. Okay, so there's quite a solid bar there, and it's pushed up relatively strong, but it's not clear here. We've got what looks like a channel here, so we may get a break of this and then a new low. I'd like to see a couple of legs. Someone took it. Okay. There's no trade here, really. Certainly not on this chart. So channel down, that doesn't look too bad. Now we got a break. Let's see where this goes. Does look like it's, as soon as we've pushed above there, it started moving down. So it does look like we're going to create a new low. As we've had a channel break already, that would kind of leave us free with the possibility of a continuation above. So hard to tell today, really. It's, you know, it never kind of goes just straight up. I mean, this was kind of easy going to a degree. Having said that, we did have some substantial pullbacks during it, but it just looks kind of bearish. So it's not all roses, is it? So much of this chop, and it can crucify in between. It's really important you get in that right place, otherwise it can just chop you up to pieces and then end up going in the same direction. It's got a habit of doing that, the market, especially when you're inexperienced. It makes mincemeat of you, and then off it trots. So you've got to kind of so much outsmart it, but it's just kind of figure out what it's doing and then find out where the kind of the masses are trading. So there is orders up at 55, which is around about these highs here. So channel break, new high. Now, I need to put music in the back. What's wrong with my voice? Aren't you satisfied with listening to me? I could put some kind of music in, I suppose. I'll have to have a look at over the weekend, see if I can find something soothing. I know when you're a streamer, you start adding music, there is kind of a what's it called? Some kind of what do they call it? Copyright stuff. There's copyright issues. I think it's pretty straightforward, but rock metal. We're not having rock metal. I don't mind a bit of rock, but it's not the type of thing. It's not the type of thing you want to stream. If I play rock for a couple of days, there was just me and you left. Good for stops, yeah. So we've had this push up. We've had a big bull bar there. It's crossed over, and we're on our way down. So my guess is it's probably going to break below those lows, which should play that channel out. Now, I can't see this working its way down. It doesn't look right. You know, small channel, we're already to break a new low. I still think we maybe test this area and then we continue on up somehow, I'm guessing. You want something calming, really, when you're trading. Something like some sort of weird yoga music and them little chimes or something like that. In the background, I'm sure it's got. Yeah, there is. I actually, if I'm on my own in the stream, I usually have something playing. I'm usually listening to something. I'm listening to what's at the moment? Toto at the moment. Reliving my youth. Well, some of it. They were a great band, Toto. Really, just good sort of pop music. Really nice, good music. Yeah, there is copyright free. You can buy a license as well. It's not much. I think it's about $6 or $8 a month. And you can play most things, I think. It's weird how YouTube is. If I played a song now, any kind of song, it would flag it. I don't know how it does it, but it seems to be okay with any sort of uncopyrighted music. But the second it is copyrighted music, it just flags it straight away. So, channel looks nice with a break. New low. Yeah, you just want something. Just something, just to take that sting out the background, because I have moments when I don't shut up, and then I have times where I'm just focusing and maybe there's nothing to say, which is always a bit unusual for me. It's quite rare I run out of things to say, but yeah, what I'll do is I'm in hospital on Monday, so I won't be back till Tuesday. So over the weekend, I'll go through some and get some background, just some nice quiet music that you can just make out, but doesn't disturb, doesn't confuse it when you can hear me. Bart, how you doing, my friend?
You been trading today? I usually have a look to say you're doing, but I haven't had a look at anybody today, to be fair. Let's have a look. Yeah, oh, you're still trading, are you? I got you, mate. How are you getting on? Taking some today? It looks like it. I usually have a look and see how everyone's doing. I think Nutty's screwed up, hasn't he? I think I saw something earlier for Nutty. I think he's blown his accounts again. I'm sure I saw something popped up somewhere. I can't even see his thing at the moment. 5 trades. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I'm okay, mate. I'm all right. I'm all good. I've just moved over to a new PC. I just built a new PC about a week ago. And for some odd reason, there is what may look like a second entry short there. Trouble is, we've already made a new low, so I'm going to have to avoid that. It may come down. It is a new low, but then we've pushed up. So there is a second entry short there, stroke lower high. The trouble is, if it comes down, how far is it going to come down? There's no room to the lows, to be honest with you. And not only that, we have had a break. We've already made a new low by a tick. Now, there's no guarantees this thing may come careering down, but at the moment, it's just about clear. Yeah, I had some issues with NinjaTrader. For some reason, I could not open it. So I spent half a day trying everything. And then in the end, I decided, because I'd recently built the computer, I just wiped everything clear. Got rid of Windows and reinstalled it, so it's all working now. So I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. So that bear bar, in fact, it's not really a second entry short, really. It's more a lower high because we've broken a low. I'm avoiding that at the moment because we've got a channel down there with a break and a new low. So it may go up. In fact, if there's a higher low here, that's tempting. Because you could argue triple test, higher low. There's going to be stops above here and here, but this thing may not be coming down. It's hard to say at the moment. It's a little bit choppy, this area. Tough one. It's easy to get caught out in these. Going long as well, because it is a little bit sideways. I mean, it is a new low by a tick, but this does look like one push down, second push down. So you wouldn't want to be in that trade, would you? I mean, it's triggered you for a few ticks and it's on its way down. So I'll be amazed if it is going to pull up and move up, if it doesn't break below that bar before it does it. But you never know sometimes. What I will say about that bar is it's nice and tight above that EMA. So sometimes it'd hold. I don't fancy my chances though if I was long there, but trouble is it looks even choppier on this left chart, so easy to get stuck in here. But that does look like 1, 2, 3 a triple test on here. Trouble is it is a little bit. It's so tempting that, but look at it. It hasn't triggered anyway, and it's on its way down by the looks of things. So if it gets below there, then it's game over. I'll be amazed if that does hold when it gets so low, but sometimes it just works that way. Okay, so that's stopped that out. So channel down, break, 2 pushes to a new low. So is this thing going to push up now, or has it got other plans? Where's my book map? So there are orders down there at 66, 67, somewhere around about there. So round about this area where it is now. 66 to 67. So
it may pick up some of these. So around about there, just under 67, which is around about there. So 2 legs back. It's very tempting there. But with those orders down there, I'd be a bit nervous going long there, but it does look like 2 legs and a push-up. Higher low would be a better option. It's very tempting to take that. But that's why I use Bookmap to stay out of a trade. If I think there's big enough orders, the bar's naff anyway, so if I think there's big enough orders directly below it, it may be a case of it gets triggered and then stopped out. So there's nothing here. I don't think it would have been a terrible trade. Channel break, 2 pushes to a new low, and it's second entry long as well. But the bars are doji, and while those orders are down there on Bookmap around about 66 to 67, this area, it may just sneak into this area and pick up some of those orders. So another reason why not to take that, but the bar ended up being pretty rough anyway, so I was quite happy about leaving it. It may still move up. We're definitely finding some support there, but it would have to be a higher low, I think. But channel up, 2 legs back. If that had been a bullish bar, I don't think it would have been a terrible trade. But I'd rather just sneak into that area, pick up some of those buy orders and end up bullish. Thomas Wade's just looking at the same thing, basically. Leg down and leg down. He hasn't taken a trade here. It's just not quite good enough, that bar. But that has played out, and you'd expect this uptrend to play out as well. On the slight kind of negative side, though, we've been kind of, sort of falling down slightly. So a couple of attempts to get up. This thing could absolutely career down. So another reason not to take that. There's still those orders down there, so this may come down and get them. Or there's always a possibility that there may be something larger. I don't think there is just yet. We've got to give this the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to see it get into that area there where those orders are. And if it does that and then turns, that is a better option. So you could say 1, 2, 3 maybe. You'd really want to get in with those orders, wouldn't you? Which are in this area. If we can just drop down there and then push up strongly, then. Funnily enough, that's right at the bottom of those orders. 66, a quick drop down there and a strong bullish bar. Are we going to be lucky enough to get it? Okay, and that's taken some of them. Some of them are getting yanked now. It's not a huge bar, that, but as long as those orders are down here, I'm still a bit nervous about this. You can actually see where this is playing a part here, can't you? You can see it there, around here, here, there. If we get a high low there, that'll rock it up, I think. think that might be the move up. I don't think we're going to get a higher low, to be honest with you. That's moving up quite strong. Trouble is, if you took this new low, trigger just stopped you out. You took this, trigger just stopped you out. Usually I like 2 pushes down, but it made a third now. All of a sudden, look at this. I don't think I'd feel comfortable taking a higher low here, especially after it went up there and dropped strong. It's hard to say, really. Is there a channel working down? I don't. There's a larger channel. I'm not a fan of it. It looks more like 2 legs, but we'll soon see if this decides to push down. You've got to be so careful here. 1 minute, I like that. Next minute, I like that. You've got to be so careful. Yeah, I'm going to have to sit this one out. After this break, we had 3 pushes down, and 1 minute it's looking bullish. Next minute, I mean, look at that. If it went long there, look at this now. This is just going to walk all over you. It's clearly stacking up, so you just got to sit tight here. This is going to be torture for some people. So easy to get crucified here. Second entry shorter there. Trouble is, you may go short and it may do the opposite. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. It's too choppy. So it is looking like a larger channel to me rather than 2 legs. It's hard to say. It may just come down here and pick up some of these orders. It may be 1, 2, 3, triple test, and up it goes. Could be a triple test. Very tempting. Triple test. Trouble is, 1 minute looks like it's coming down there. So you just can't take it. It may rock it up, but look at this side. It's Take along there, triggers you, stops you out. Take along there, triggers it, stops you out. Take along there, triggers it, stops you out. Now all of a sudden, look at this. This price action's brutal. The trouble is, when you see something like that, your natural instinct is to think looking for longs, but there's no guarantee this thing's going to go up. It's broken above there. This could continue down. Just want to see it pick up these orders and let's see what happens. But I mean, even if you make this, if you adjust it like that to a bigger channel, you may argue there's the break and the new low, but I've learned to be patient when it's like this. Just it's so trappy. Okay, so it's now picked up those orders right at the measured move. Let's see what happens now. Look at that. So it's so tempting to take longs here, isn't it? Trying to ride that up, but while it's choppy like that, it's just putting me right off. So I'm glad I didn't feel right with any of this. I get the tendency to get into trades here, but when it's like this, it's just brutal. So we know there is a bit of something, a bit of support there. Now, is that a break new low or is that just an overshoot? And now we're maybe looking for a way up. Anything I would have taken in hindsight? Where do we start trading around about here? Nothing really. There is a lower high there. I'm just not sure at the moment. Nothing down there. Nothing up there. Nothing there. We didn't even come back to the emitter here. And then we had a channel with a break and new high, so you got to postpone stuff. Nothing here. Channel break, new low buy tick. You may have a go at that one. It did work, but I'm just not sure. I had two different thought process there. Nothing here really. Triple test maybe. I think it was a bit vague, that one. So I left it. Nothing here. Channel break, new high. There was a lower high, but I didn't like it. It's right into support. You can see it there. So didn't like the higher low. Trouble is, after seeing this, your natural instinct is looking for longs. I didn't do it here because I thought there was a channel, but when we had a break, two pushes, from this point on, you're kind of thinking about it, but the bar was naff, it triggered it, came down, stop it out. There was another one, you'd have got a few points off that, but then rather than going up after the two legs, which most traders are probably, most pack traders are thinking were more likely going up, it did the complete opposite. Now, we broke above this area, didn't we? So you never quite know whether this is sort of the limit before it turns down, because the overall picture over the last few days is bearish at the moment. And we do this quick drop down, and then a little bit we gather our thoughts, and then we're down again, and we gather our thoughts again and down again, and then we're doing the same. We have that move up, we kind of gather our thoughts a bit, and then down again for that next push. So this really is this section and that section. It looks similar to this in a sense. We get all that choppiness and then down it comes. So my guess is it's probably going to continue down if I had to put money on it. But those orders down there have all been yanked. Tell a lie, there is some. It's too low down. Yeah, they're up between there and 55. So there is 50 to 55. So there is orders there at this area. So I think if people are trading this down to, naturally, you can see there's some support in that here. So makes sense this thing's coming down. So I will look for another channel. Maybe that looks okay to me. Trouble is, once we start, often it just drops. So channel break, new low. We made a bunch of attempts to go over it, and then that was it. Game over. Down we come. So be nice to get a break here. And then another way down. But it does look like it's testing this area. You can see we've had a bunch. You can see here, a couple of times here. So it does look, we've broken above this, cleaned out any possible liquidity up here. And it does look like it's kind of slowly working its way down to the next kind of area of resistance or support, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I can see orders up there at 66, the stronger bunch of orders, which is kind of where we want to be. If we can get a couple of pushes up to here, channel down with a break. That would be nice, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. Okay, so we're getting a break here. Let's see if we get lucky. Trouble is, on this side, it's a possible overshoot, so I'm going to have to tread carefully. So 66 and a quarter, there's some orders which we're picking up now, so let's see what happens. That's taken them up. There's aggressive buyers. Not an easy day today. It's kind of waving back and forth. You never quite know where it's going to turn. Okay, I'm going to knock it on the head there. I've done 3 hours, so I've got a few more settings to tinker with tonight. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So best of luck. Not the easiest day today. It's moving, but it's just kind of weaving backwards and forwards. It's moving quite wildly, isn't it, really? But it's just kind of how it is. So I'll get those settings sorted out late this evening, ready for tomorrow, so you can see me a bit clearer. And so on and so forth. Friday tomorrow, last day then till Tuesday for me. I got surgery on Monday, nothing serious, and then I'll be back then on Tuesday. So best of luck, have a great evening, stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.